All right, so this is going to be like an unofficial test to see whether or not two things are functions, or sorry, two functions are inverses of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a number to plug in for x on either one of these. I'm going to use the top one here. So my x that I'm going to plug in, I'm going to plug in like 10 for x, and then I'm going to see what I get back for my y value. All right, so if x is equal to 10, half of 10 would be 5, and then 5 minus 3 would be a 2. So when I plug in 10 for x, I get a 2 back. That means that if g of x is actually the function, or sorry, the inverse function, that means when I plug in 2 for x, I should get 10 back. So try it out. 2 times 2, that's 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. So it does actually work. So these are probably inverses of each other. If you wanted to actually tell, what you'd have to do is you'd have to do it for all values. You'd have to evaluate f of g of x and see if that actually equals x, and you'd have to do g of f of x and see if that also equals x. But this is a good enough test. Like, this is probably going to give you the information you need in most circumstances. All right, this one down here. So when you're dealing with the square roots, I would definitely choose the number to plug in for this one, uh, because you might wind up with some domain errors down here. So the number that we have to choose for x, it actually needs to be at least 3. Because if I choose like a 1 or a 2, I'm going to end up getting a square root of a negative, and I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to try to pick a good value. Oh, let's say I did 12 for x, all right? Because if I did 12 minus 3, that would be 9, and the square root of 9 comes out nicely, all right? So square root of 9, that would be 3, and then I get 3 plus 4, so that's 7. So then I go down here to this function, and I'm going to plug in 7 for x and see if I get back a 12. Well, you can probably tell I am not about to get a 12 back. 7 plus 3 is 10. I'm going to square the 10 so it would become 100, and then 100 minus 4, that'd be 96. So yeah, these two are not inverses of each other.